Hey, another week, another blog. Let's start our beginning and we'll work our way to the end. Um, First off, the outfit. For the auction, well, had I known it was an auction, I probably would have dressed better. It's a work in progress kind of concept. As far as I knew, t-shirt, jeans, perfectly okay during the day. You want to dress up more for night. Of course, there's exception to every rule, and I fell right into it. Also didn't help that my genetic heritage made it showing. You may not have noticed, but I had a little quail tail thing going on for most of the auction. Who knows? Maybe some women found that endearing, but certainly didn't help me sell myself as being muy macho. Of course, as far as the topic I chose, not a whole lot of anecdotes to go with. I'm sure I have little bits and pieces I could have tried to use, but as far as some nice consistent piece, theater was one of the few spots I had. And of course, not very natural to go up and try to sell yourself in front of a bunch of people, at least to me. So I did happen to have no frame of reference on how to talk, so I reverted to the only frame I did have, theater. So I went a little over the top and I guess sounded a little cocky as a result. But, you know, when I don't have any reciprocity, no actual communication back and forth between my audience and me, it's what's going to happen. And it's just like the clumsiness I had in the pillow room last episode. You know, if you can't talk to somebody, can't figure out how to calibrate, then that's what happens. One thing I know I was a bit surprised by, and I think the rest of the guys might have been as well. What, we don't get girls too? As far as the auction goes, I went in assuming that we would all be spending time with our respective winners, I guess. The women who'd paid money to buy us. So I was a bit surprised that only Matt got to go. The rest of us got a wave at him, and that was about it. We didn't even get to meet him, which I was a little disappointed by. At the very least, I think that would have been a good experience for us, but maybe you guys at the production will keep that in mind next time around, if there is, which I'm guessing there will be. You know, if somebody's going to bid on something, generally you'd think they want something in return, besides the warmness of knowing that they've helped people. Now to the lesson. You may have noticed over the shoulder of, I think it was Matt, or maybe it was Simeon, the chalkboard once again had some writing on it, though this time it was out of focus, unlike the first episode where it panned away from it. However, I kept a little record of all my chalkboard musings, and here's what it actually reads. Raise yourself within their eyes by using DHV. Show yourself not the other guys, but their perfect mate to be. So, I thought it was a nice one. The little drawing was, you know, a bunch of little male symbols, though one was standing out from the others as being a little more unique. And the other were female symbols, you know, checking out the male symbols. My own little artistic, cartoony way. As far as the prep for the challenge this week, we set up as a group, which they don't know that they really touched on, doing a barbecue, which makes sense. Especially, the guys convinced me of it because they knew, though I don't know that they really show it so much in the show, but I think Matt did mention on it a little bit. I don't like misrepresentation, so I did not want to ask a girl for numbers just for the competition. I wanted to only ask for numbers that I was legitimately going to use. In fact, when I was in the club, I was trying to build towards that. I'd even actually, you know, gotten pretty close. Unfortunately, small detail, the lovely young lady that I was talking to made mention that she would not be in town for our Sunday barbecue, that she was going to be leaving in the next day or so back to LA, which for me pulled the rug out from under. So, you know, oh well. Also, I did a bit better in the club than they showed. I actually had, obviously, as Mr. had mentioned, an entire group of lovely models hanging out with me, I guess. And at one point I even leaned over, talked to the table of ladies behind me, and while I was turned away, they'd actually stepped forward towards me, which was kind of nice. Even had a lady who called out her on her makeup, you know, wondering about when she would wipe it off. She said, well, what, does it make me look like a transvestite? And I was like, well, not too much. So, a nice little playful neg there. So, I mean, I did pretty well, I think. Which makes me wonder, why was I in the final two again? From watching the footage, then again, could have been edited, it looks like I did pretty well compared to the other guys. So, what? They like me having me in the final two just for building drama because they know I'm a little more emotional than you guys, other guys? Who knows? As far as Brian goes, I love the guy, but I definitely felt it was time for him to go. I was getting concerned that his lack of filter was starting to get abused, and he was starting to pick up stuff which probably wouldn't be best for him. So I'm honestly kind of glad he went back to his normal life and hopefully able to improve. Though I haven't had a chance to hang out with him, but recently, from what I gather, he's been able to do all right for himself. Until next time, talk to you later.